What kind of a mount are you looking for? A backyard pet your children can grow up with? Or a reliable trail animal to help you enjoy the high country? Do you love a reining spin or the intricate moves of the dressage arena? Do you long to be flying high on a jump course? Or does driving a Surrey with the fringe on top sound like your cup of tea? Whatever kind of equine companion you're looking for, you'll want one that will perform in a safe, obedient manner. The purpose of these programs is to help you understand mules and donkeys and learn how to handle and train them correctly. Now, we know that not everyone watching owns a mule. Some of you own horses. Well, there's something here for you too. You'll notice that these are simple, easy-to-follow lessons. They're designed to teach you a variety of correct training methods for horses as well as for mules and donkeys. The result? Whether his ears are long or short, you'll have a well-mannered, well-trained animal. This program features segments from an award-winning video series created for the equine industry by acclaimed trainer and educator Meredith Hodges. Because of this, you'll hear occasional references to the videos and also to the workbooks and field cards that are included with the video series. The field cards that come with the videos are a great training tool that can be taken right into the arena. We'll be sure to give you information on the complete training series later in the program. Now let's learn a little about Meredith Hodges and why so many people rely on her as their training consultant.
I've known Meredith Hodges for many years, and I just want to say, not only is she a respected judge, trainer, and promoter, but she's the foremost authority in the world today on contemporary saddle mules. Her behavior modification training program, with the use of positive reinforcement, not only enables owners of all types of animals to really enjoy them, but to improve their quality of life. It also makes it very safe for them and a lot of fun and very, very enjoyable. Don't miss her TV program, Training Mules and Donkeys, and you're going to discover a whole new awareness that will enhance the care and training of your animal, whether it's dog, cat, equine, or long ear. Discover the secrets that make training fun and, of course, resistance-free.
Mules are wonderful animals. They're strong, intelligent, affectionate, with a great sense of humor, and what incredible athletes. But training a mule is different than training a horse. When you're training a mule, you have to take into consideration the donkey half as well as the horse half.
Reining and Western riding are very demanding equine sports and will challenge you and your equine to be the very best you can be. In this program, we will help you to learn the intricate details of training for these fun and exciting events.
Each week our program covers a different phase of management and training. No matter what kind of equine companion you're interested in, you'll find techniques that will help you reach your training goals and bond with your animal in the process. Just remember, the keys to success are patience, kindness, and understanding.
I'm glad you could join us this week. We'll be training for the complex movements of the reining pattern.
You can use these methods with horses as well as mules of any age. If there are differences in technique in training a horse and a mule, we'll make sure to emphasize them. And remember, if you're retraining to correct problems or starting an older mule who has never been trained, just be sure to start at the beginning, tape number 1, and take the training in sequence, whether your mule is 2 years old or 10.
Just a reminder, Meredith's animals have not been pre-trained. You're seeing them react for the first time to her training methods.
As always, don't rely on this tape alone to train your animal. Get some lessons from an expert.
While this video features simple, easy-to-follow lessons designed to teach you correct training methods, use it as a supplement to a teacher or coach. After all, you're beyond the basics. You're beginning to specialize in classes which you enjoy or in which your mule excels. Make sure you choose a coach who specializes also. That's the best way to enjoy your mule and get the most out of his training.
Now it's time to put some of your dressage lessons to work in other equine sports.
The vocabulary might be a little different, but be assured that the training principles are the same. Reining is a wonderful sport, combining perfect patterns and flying lead changes with balanced stops and turns on the haunches. In training your mule for reining, you can take his basic knowledge to the next level and end up with a very competent, high-scoring pattern in an open show. But as with any sport, the higher levels demand perfection and specialized equipment, even special shoes, sliders. In this tape, we'll show you the basics, changing the balance stop to a slide, enhancing the turn on the hindquarter into a spin, and executing a rollback. At this stage of his training, protective equipment is a must. You already are using splint boots. Make sure you add bell boots and skid boots or other full fetlock protection for his rear legs when you are beginning to work with stops and rollbacks.
Believe it or not, one of the most important elements of the reining pattern is a circle.
The circle shows the judge your mule's way of going, his ability to follow his nose and stay between your reins, and to travel on the proper lead. Your score in a reining pattern is directly related to the quality of your circles. Circles are also the basis for figure eights and learning to change leads, so take the time to make sure your circles are correct. That is, your mule has a slight arc to his body, and his nose is to the inside just enough so you can barely see his eye. His shoulders, back, and hindquarters should follow his nose, all on the same track. He is gathered up and collected, and he is flexed nicely at the pole. In his dressage training, your mule learned to execute round circles, not eggs, and he must master both small circles and large ones at trot and canter. You must canter a lot of circles of varying sizes and speeds before he has learned to relax. Now you can teach him to rate his speed. He will quickly learn that a lightened seat and driving legs cue him to canter faster. Similarly, as you sink deeper into the saddle and relax, he will learn to slow. If your mule is a junior animal under 4 years of age, you can two-hand him in classes. But if he's 5 or older, you must one-hand him. To teach him to neck rein, gently lay the indirect rein against his neck whenever you turn him with the direct rein. Be patient and remember that it may take as long as a year for your mule to turn from the indirect rein only. Now, let's work on the stop. If your mule has been soft and responsive to your cues for the halt, he's already stopping with his hindquarters somewhat under his body. Now we'll take that balanced stop to the next level. Begin your training exercises with the familiar walk, halt, back. Then trot, halt, back. If he responds correctly to your cues, he will stop lightly with his rear end well under. Remember, you are helping him by sinking deeply into the saddle and holding his body straight with your legs. The verbal command, whoa, will also help him. As you move to a lope, he should continue to be light in the bridle, executing a balanced stop and back. By adding the back immediately after the halt, he is forced to bring his hindquarters well under his body and lighten his front end. This exercise also helps him learn to carry himself in a collected manner at all gaits. It also helps him to slow his gaits down for that dainty Western pleasure trot and lope.
Here's a trick to help your mule learn to stop with his hindquarters well underneath him.
In a fenced arena, canter him slowly towards the fence at the end. About 4 strides before the fence, ask him to stop with a long whoa. In order to stop with the fence looming ahead, he has to get down deep in the dirt with his rear end. When he stops, lay your hand on his neck and give him a pat. Make him stand for about a minute. He needs to understand that when he stops, he may not be loping off in a rollback or backing. He must wait for your command. Also, standing after the stop allows him to relax, and it's a small reward for his efforts. As he understands what's expected when he's fenced at a slow canter, you can gradually add some speed. Remember, you aren't pulling on the reins. You're sitting deeply in the saddle and telling him, whoa. This is when special shoes will help him learn to slide. A slider is a broad, flat shoe that acts somewhat like a ski. His feet can slide on the surface of the arena, providing it's not too deep. As he stops, he folds his hindquarters underneath him, melting into the ground. The momentum from his speed and the power from his hindquarters carry him forward in a slide. At the same time, his front legs keep traveling. It looks like he's walking in front while sliding behind. His head stays in a natural position. You'll hear reiners talking about 10 or 20 or even 30-foot tracks. Sliding stop is truly exciting. When he's stopping well when fenced, take him in a straight line parallel to the fence and ask him to stop. The fence and your legs will help him stay straight. Vary the stop with standing still or occasionally a back. Finally, take him away from the fence, canter a straight line, and ask him to stop. Remember, don't ask for too many stops in one lesson. And when he begins to slide, don't get too excited and slide him every time you get on. Trainers say every good horse or mule only has so many slides in them, so practice sparingly and save the all-out running slides for the competition. As you might have noticed, backing plays a key part in your mule's training. Your goal is for him to back freely and easily. Early in his training, you only asked for 3 or 4 steps. Now he must learn to keep backing until you ask him to stop and to move more quickly. 2 keys. Keep your reins even and keep your weight equally distributed. Use alternate pressure with the snaffle bit. If he's in a curb, lift your reins and pull lightly. Use your legs to keep him straight. As he understands what you want, you can cluck to ask for more speed in reverse. Just don't pull harder. Remember that in most reining patterns, you must back straight, and you will need to back a minimum of 10 feet. We'll be back in a minute and do a little spinning.
Colorful Colorado, with its majestic Rocky Mountains and wide open spaces, also boasts the Loveland Long Years Museum and Sculpture Park at the Lucky 3 Ranch, home of some of the finest mules and donkeys in the world. This working ranch is just 40 miles north of Denver. World-renowned authority on mules and donkeys, Meredith Hodges, invites you and your family for an adventure in learning you won't want to miss. Come visit the Lucky 3 Ranch, meet Meredith, her champion mules and donkeys, and take in the beauty of her long years art for the experience of a lifetime.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges, and welcome to the Lucky 3 Ranch Training Tips. Next, let's work on the stop. If your equine has been soft and responsive to your cues for the halt, he's already stopping with his hindquarters somewhat underneath his body. Now you'll need to take that balanced stop to the next level. Begin your training exercises with the familiar walk, halt, and back, then trot, halt, and back. If he responds correctly to your cues, he will stop lightly with his rear end well underneath him. Here's a tip to help him learn to stop with his hind legs well underneath his body. In a fenced arena, canter him slowly toward the fence. About 4 strides before the fence, ask him to stop with a long whoa. And sink into your deep and relaxed seat, maintaining your balanced seat. In order to stop with the fence looming ahead, he must get down deep in the dirt with his rear end. When he stops, lay your hand on his neck and give him a pat. Make him stand for about a minute. He must understand that when he stops, he must wait for your next command. Also, standing after the stop allows him to relax, and it acts as a little reward for his efforts. Special shoes can help your equine to learn to slide. A slider plate is a broad, flat shoe that acts somewhat like a ski. His feet can slide on the surface of the arena provided it's not too deep. As he stops, he folds his hindquarters underneath him, seemingly skiing along the ground. The momentum from his speed and the power from his hindquarters carry him forward into a slide. At the same time, his front legs keep traveling. It looks like he's walking in front while sliding behind. His head stays in a natural position. When he's stopping well when fenced, ride him in a straight line parallel to the fence and ask him to stop. The fence and your legs will help him to stay straight. Occasionally, ask him to back after stopping. Finally, take him away from the fence, canter a straight line, and then ask him to stop. Don't ask for too many stops in one lesson. And once he learns to slide, don't get too excited and slide him every time you get on him. Reining trainers say every good horse or mule has only so many slides in him, so practice sparingly and save the good slides for the competition.
Here's an engineer. How did you know that? So we go see a huge mule. Because this head, too fine. Stroke with the head. That's all you gotta do. Okay, come on, boys. Let's go. Come on.
Every owner knows that a well-taken care of equine is a happy equine. More and more, a technique being used to enhance our animals' overall conditioning is equine massage.
What you have to realize is you're training an animal in their muscle tissue, and their muscle tissue has to be able to perform the task that you're asking the animal to perform. If you're having a hard time doing the advanced things, you need to go back to the beginning. The massage helps break the pattern of the neurons that fire to that muscle, that tell it to contract, to contract, to contract.
With proper instruction, just about anyone can learn to give their equine the benefit of basic massage.
I've been working on equines for a long time, and a lot of people look at you and hope that you can just come out and make an animal better. And you can't do that. It takes two pieces, the massage as well as the exercise. And the exercise is actually more important than the massage. And that's something that people really have to understand. And Meredith's tapes do that. And a lot of people don't want to take that long a time frame. They just want to do their 60 days, get on the animal and ride them. But that's not really where you can go with their backs.
For more intensive therapeutic massage, be sure to consult a professional. Equine massage not only enhances your animal's health and overall condition, it's also a deeply personal and rewarding bonding experience for both of you.
Many of you who love your horses also love your dogs. This type of massage can be beneficial for all your pets. If you want to improve your animal's quality of life, I can help. I can either teach you how to do it, or I can massage your dogs for you. Contact me at dogmassage.com.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges, and welcome to the Lucky 3 Ranch Training Tips. There are several easy ways to teach your equine to do a reining spin. One of the easiest is to begin by walking your equine into a spiral. Begin with a 10-foot circle. As you spiral around, make the circle tighter and tighter. If he starts swapping ends instead of planting the pivot foot, counterbend him to help bring the shoulders around to set him correctly on the pivot foot. Gradually draw the circle down into a slow 360-degree turnaround. Make sure his nose is tipped toward the inside of the circle and use strong outside leg pressure to enforce the turn. Use your outside leg to hold his hindquarters and shift your weight to the outside seat bone. As he bends his body around the smaller circle, he will naturally begin to cross his front legs. Let him do one good 360-degree turnaround and then allow him to walk out onto a larger circle as a reward. Be sure to keep your connection on both reins. After about 10 of these slow spirals, let him walk out and work in the other direction. If you're riding with 2 hands, you can control his bend with the inside rein and gently lead his head around the circle. Repeat the spiral exercise until he responds smoothly and without a fuss. Then you can ask him for several spins in a row, but keep them slow and accurate. Only add speed after you have achieved accuracy. Next, ask for an increased front-end speed in the turnaround by increasing your squeeze-release leg pressure. Back up your leg cues with a crop if needed. Remember to let him walk out at the end of each spin. This exercise is new to him and you can both get dizzy. As he learns to plant his pivot foot and spin, you'll both lose your balance if you're not careful. This is one instance when you may need to grab the saddle horn. As turning becomes easy for your equine, speed will come naturally.
Teach your mules amazing things.
This is the well-known equation where time to failure is exponentially distributed. Can anyone solve this equation for the class? Daisy.
Teach your mules amazing things. Artwork inspired by mules and donkeys is quickly gaining popularity. Tennessee mule artist Bonnie Shields has the uncanny ability to capture the fun-loving nature of these free-spirited animals.
They were like a horse, but they weren't like a horse. They had a little different body. They used their body a different way. They certainly had a different mental attitude. So they started intriguing me as an artist, and I kept finding the differences between them and the horse, both physically and in their reaction to things. So that started my love affair with the mule. When you deal with the mule, you're not always in charge. So it takes a little bit of a different kind of personality to appreciate the mule and to work with her.
She was the only artist that could really capture the essence of mules and donkeys. Because mules and donkeys are really good teachers and teachers of life lessons. And Bonnie has just been an inspiration to me ever since. Wow, how'd it do?
Whoa. I know that all through the years, Meredith gives tours to the ranch. But what a wonderful addition to this whole ranch would be a sculpture park just for the mules and the donkeys. So I just thought it was an awesome idea. And then she let me be part of it. It's a wonderful thing, and when you come to visit the Lucky Three, it's just an added bonus.
Mule people, you reckon I can get Meredith to make a tape on how to teach your mule to shovel snow? I sure gonna try. Wish me luck.
Just a wonderful human being, and working with her is always humorous. She is just funny as the day is long, and so I thought that she would be absolutely perfect as the illustrator for the Jasper series that I wanted to do.
The Daydreamers was inspired by a thing that I saw years ago. I heard about this family up in Kentucky. They'd been working tobacco out in the field with their mules. And one of the boys, he was laying across this mule's back, laying in the shade. They'd been working, and he was resting on the back of his mule in the shade. That just kind of stuck with me, and I thought, gee, a kid like that, you know, he thinks he's stuck on the farm. He thinks he's stuck doing all this terrible old work, and he's laying up there and he's daydreaming about getting away from it all. So that's where Daydreamer came from. Sculpture's not the only thing I do. Matter of fact, I got into sculpture maybe a little later in my career. Mostly, I was known for my pencil drawings and my acrylic paintings for many, many years.
Long ears art. It may be whimsical, like a cartoon, or it may simply be breathtaking. Long ears are taking their place in the world of art, and it's the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Once your mule has learned a deep balanced stop, it's an easy step to a 180-degree turn over the hocks called rollback. Reining is no different than dressage, and stretching before lateral movements is a must. The turn on the haunches with the pivot foot planted is a lateral move. Prepare your mule for this by doing the same longitudinal stretching we previously outlined. Walk a small circle, encouraging him to walk through it. Then counterbend him and ask him to bring his shoulders around while planting the pivot foot. Be careful not to bend him too much or it will inhibit his movement. We just want to stretch the sides and top of his back from head to tail, encouraging his shoulders to move over and his front legs to cross over. Again, we'll use the fence as an aid in teaching him to turn with his hindquarters well under his body. Walk along the perimeter of the arena with about a mule's length between you and the rail. Ask him to stop, then pause a second, back him a few steps, then make a 180-degree turn and walk out of it. When he's responding at the walk, trot into the turn, then trot out. Finally, canter into the rollback and canter out. Make sure you turn him into the fence, using a strong outside leg to urge him to turn, but holding his hindquarters with your inside leg. Initially, you can use both direct and indirect rein to lead his head around. Follow this procedure several times until your mule learns to turn and jump right out into the canter again. Basically, he's doing a turn on the haunches, but you're asking for him to execute it with a little more snap. You're also asking him immediately for a canter. In other words, he'll canter on one lead, stop, turn, and canter, not trot out on the opposite lead. Just remember to always pause a second after his stop. That way you can ask for a back or a rollback without his anticipating. The result will be a smooth, flowing turn with your mule moving out right in his tracks. When he understands what you're asking for, you can add a little speed, and he will soon be doing a deep stop and turn on the hindquarters and loping out. In order to perform a correct rollback, he must exit on the lead of his turn. There are several easy ways to teach your mule to do a reining spin. One of the easiest is to begin by walking your mule into a spiral. Begin with about a 10-foot circle. As you spiral around, make the circle tighter and tighter. If he starts swapping ends, counterbend him to help bring the shoulders around. Gradually, draw the circle down into a slow 360-degree turnaround. Make sure his nose is tipped towards the inside of the circle and use strong outside leg pressure to enforce the turn. Use your outside leg to hold his hindquarters and shift your weight to the outside seat bone. As he bends his body in the direction of the bend, he will naturally begin to cross his front legs as he turns tighter and tighter. Let him do one good 360 turnaround, then allow him to walk out onto a larger circle as a reward. After about 10 of these spirals, let him walk out and work on the other direction. If you're two-handing your mule, you can control his bend with your inside rein leading somewhat. Repeat the spiral exercise until he responds smoothly and without a fuss. Then you can ask him for several 360s in a row. Next, you can ask for increased front-end impulsion in the turnaround by increasing your leg pressure. Back up your leg with a crop if needed. Remember to let him walk out at the end. This exercise is new to him, and as he learns to truly spin, you'll both lose your balance if you're not careful. This is one instance when you'd best plan to grab the saddle horn. As turning becomes easy for your mule, speed will come naturally. The next element of the reining pattern to work on is lead changes. Remember that in a reining pattern, lead changes take place in the center of the arena, which means you will be changing directions along a straight line before the true change of direction. Your mule must be balanced and responsive to your subtle cues to control his hind legs. This is where those flexion and counterflexion exercises come in very handy. In tape number 5, we worked on simple lead changes, working up to a lead change after just a few trotting strides. Continue practicing these simple lead changes on the diagonal and also along the straightaway until your mule understands he is to change leads and can calmly and smoothly do a simple lead change along a straight line without bobbling. He should be paying close attention to your subtle seat and leg cues as you hold his body straight.
Here's a great trick to help your mule make that transition to a flying change.
Place a single ground pole in the center of the arena. Begin by cantering a large circle toward one end. As you approach the pole, make sure you're coming in straight. Keep even pressure on your reins with your inside leg holding him at the girth and your outside leg back and pushing him forward. As you approach the pole, half halt, even your legs and cue for the new lead. He will change easily over the pole. Some mules respond better with pressure from the inside leg, and some respond better with pressure from the outside leg. It really doesn't matter as long as you are consistent with whichever leg you choose to use. Remember, don't rein him over or try to throw him into the lead change. You want him to change off your leg cues. Your goal is to get him to change both front and rear legs simultaneously. Changing in front first is wrong because it means he's dropping his shoulder. Changing behind first may result in his popping the lead. The best and smoothest change is simultaneous. Add some variety to your training so your mule doesn't anticipate changes in patterns. You might try the 66 drill or some random lead changes in the open. Just make sure your mechanics are good. Round circles, not eggs. Smooth, flowing changes of direction, not abrupt angles. Use half halts to balance him before he changes. Your goal is to train your mule to change leads in a straight line at your command, not necessarily in response to a change of direction. The same elements your mule learned for reining are used in Western riding. Riding a mechanically demanding pattern at a walk, trot, and lope, changing leads, cantering over a pole, and backing. In addition, you'll be asked to open and close a gate. In many ways, Western riding is more similar to a trail class than a reining class, because all the elements must be performed slowly and with control. Your workbook or most rule books have the Western riding pattern. Remember, this is not a speed pattern, it is a control pattern. If you're familiar with riding a dressage test, then Western riding should be another fun exercise of teamwork between you and your mule. Isn't it great to see what your mule can do? Just wait till next week when we teach him to jump. See you then.
Having problems? Need an accessible trainer? Whether you're just a weekend trail rider or showing, the principles of training are the same. You want a safe and reliable equine companion. Produced by Meredith Hodges, Training Mules and Donkeys, a logical approach to long ears, will help you build a good working relationship with your animal. Meredith reveals the secrets of successful maintenance and resistance-free training that can be implemented by anyone, resulting in a satisfying partnership between you and your equine. Meredith answers your training questions promptly via mail or phone. Her books are great general resources and her videos are detailed, outlining the day-to-day exercises needed to produce a versatile and dependable equine companion. Meredith's techniques work with all equines. Do you have children, grandchildren? Check out Jasper, the story of a mule. For more information, check out our website at www.lucky3ranch.com or call 1-800-816-7566.
Mules are working their way into the hearts of people everywhere. If you'd like to know more about these wonderful long-eared animals, you can contact us at 1-800-816-7566 or get on our website at lucky3ranch.com.
Dusty old quilt hung crooked on a couch in an old stone house by a lazy river. Songbirds singing to me like a slow ride